Have you ever had a moment where you have had your hair cut a certain way for the last 3 weeks, and then you look at yourself, not in a mirror, but in a live video picture of yourself, and you forgot that your hair looked like that? I just had that. Yesterday was boring. Today was also kind of boring. I put a lot of stuff in drawers. My room is a mess. There's trash on the floor. There's stuff on the floor, not actually a lot of trash, a lot of things that I probably could throw away, probably should throw away, but also a lot of stuff I intend to keep. But one of the great things about getting rid of all this stuff and putting so much stuff in storage is I'm now cutting down on I'm opening up spaces, what I should say. One thing I did today was I took a bunch of clothes that were in my closet, some of which have been in there for over a decade, and I haven't worn in over a decade, and I just got rid of it. I just dumped it, well, I put it in a box, and we'll put uh, some of it out for Goodwill or Salvation Army, and some of it will go in the trash. In fact, one pair of shorts that I tore a hole in the back and then somehow, for reasons that escape me, hung back up in the closet and then left in the back of the closet for years. That closet hasn't gotten a lot of use in the last decade. Um, I actually have kept it sort of sealed shut in a way, blocked it off because Leo would bang against the door trying to get in, and it would keep me up at night. So I just put some stuff in front of it and never really moved it. And I didn't need a lot of the stuff in the closet, so I very rarely went in there. But I had some good shirts that I just hadn't worn very much and forgot that they were hanging in there, so I'm going to start wearing them again. So that's good. This shirt's starting to get a little ratty, so that's probably for the best. While I've been putting stuff in drawers, I have occupied my time by getting caught up a little bit on West Wing. I lived with my friends Brooke and Sean from about 2006 to 2009. And while I was over there, actually, even before I moved there, the three of us had become enamored with West Wing. And it remains my favorite TV show of all time. But back in 2006, the show was just finishing. And, oh, that's right. Before I moved in with them, I had been hanging out a lot at their place while I was in college. So this would have been like 2002 to 2003 to 2004. So we were watching a lot of the episodes as they came out back then. A mutual friend of ours had brought over the DVD box sets, and we went through all first three seasons. And I think that was just in time for us to start watching season four. And then I sort of fell out in and around season five. And I never finished season 6 and 7. But I was under the impression that I had actually only gotten through season 4 until I looked at the episode list today. And I'm maybe 6 or 7 episodes into season 4 at this point, and it's all stuff that I remember. The arrival of Will Bailey and the eventual departure of Sam Seaborn, Rob Lowe. It's sort of a sad story. As I understand it, Rob Lowe was originally approached for the show with the idea that he would be the star. At this point, they didn't have a lot of other characters cast, and they didn't even have a president, but the intention was for the president to only appear every couple of episodes, like once every 3 or 4 episodes, especially considering how much Martin Sheen was originally going to, ask for. But he really liked the role, and everybody liked him as president, and that wasn't probably the most stinging thing. If I was in Rob Lowe's position, I think I would have been more frustrated with the fact that after the first 2 or 3 episodes, it became clear that the actual star that wasn't the president was Bradley Whitford's character, Joshua Lyman, who really sort of became the face of the show. And so eventually, I think Mr. Lowe just realized either he asked to be written out or they wrote him out themselves in a much more dignified way than Mandy, Moira Kelly's character, left. She just disappears. It's sometimes called stealth firing or being put on a bus. Actually, I think the term "put on a bus" was coined by what someone asked, "What happened to the character of Mandy?" And the show producers said, "Well, she was put on a bus to Mandyville, and she's not going to be coming back." What happened was her character was written out of the show for reasons I don't even understand. Probably she was asking for more money than they were willing to give. And so she's in the episode right before the president gets shot at in Rosalind. She might have even been in that episode, but she was not in any of the episodes, the 2-part episodes that start season 2. She was nowhere to be seen. And a couple characters get this treatment, and it's more acceptable, permissible, expected. The White House staff in the real world changes frequently, even before this administration, which has had a famously fast turnover rate. In truth, as I understand it, chiefs of staff are not expected to last more than a year or 2. And Leo McGarry went for a full 5 or 6 before eventually having a heart attack. And John Spencer, rest in peace, passed away shortly after his character did on the show. But it's more like the characters, especially in the press briefing room, who just seem to appear for a little bit and then disappear after a while. Danny Kincannon actually comes back. He disappears after the 3rd season. In fact, I think he disappears during the 3rd season and then isn't really spoken of. He's mentioned a couple of times, which is more than Mandy can say. But he eventually comes back. And then the Republican council office, well, the council office itself is sort of a weird situation because I can't remember his name now. The character's name is Lionel Tribby. He appears in 1 or 2 episodes and then does not appear for the rest of the season. And the next time the White House council is called upon, it's Oliver Platt playing a character named Oliver Babish. And they actually make mention in that episode that the White House council keep, appearing and disappearing, and that there's been over 6 in the 3 years the president's been in office. So, it's not unexpected, but TV casts aren't that fluid most of the time. And so as these characters who've been established over the course of 4 seasons start to get less screen time or get phased out completely in favor of new characters, it's jarring. I love all the cast members, and everybody I'm sure that worked on that show would tell you that it was a delight. And I'm jealous that I'm never going to be in television, because I'd love to hang out with Bradley Whitford and Allison Janney, but that's probably not the way my life is going to go. Anyway, I need to have some water or something because I'm getting a tickle in my throat. So I'm just going to say I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.